Man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. So Oscar De La Hoya takes another big fat with cheese L, man. He has been taking L's left and right, man. What the hell is going on with Oscar De La Hoya, man? Get your head out your ass, man. News is out there, man, that today that Oscar has lost his lawsuit against Al Haymon, a $300 million lawsuit, antitrust lawsuit. They try to say he violated the Muhammad Ali Act, in which a boxing manager cannot act as a promoter. Well, guess what, man? They didn't prove any of that shit. Nothing. They left this case with nothing. This case been going on since 2015. And they left this case with nothing but a big pile of lawyer fees, man. And we seen the finances of Golden Boy Promotions, and they can't afford these damn lawyer fees. You know, Oscar has been taking so many L's. We've seen emails come out recently dealing with the company Golden Boy Promotions and reporters in which they were talking so bad about Al Haymon, calling them things like Black Hitler and using racial slurs and stuff like that. And I'm sure somebody leaked that just for this court case, but it got out. And not to mention that we've seen Oscar De La Hoya as recently as a couple days ago get hit with a DUI, got caught 2 in the morning drunk, and he's a former cokehead, so why the hell is he drinking? Possibly a current cokehead, I don't know. Why is he drinking? And then we see peeks into Golden Boy Promotions finances, in which we see that Canelo Alvarez is Golden Boy Promotions. If Canelo leaves Golden Boy Promotions, there will be no more Golden Boy Promotions. And there are reports out there, y'all, that Canelo Alvarez basically calls the shots over at Golden Boy Promotions. He's running things up in there. He knows his worth to that company, and he's running the show over at Golden Boy Promotions. Oscar is taking all kinds of L's, man. Remember the coup? I like to call it a coup that was performed behind his back while he was somewhere taking pictures in drag, snorting coke up his nose and shit. Like, he let Al Haymon and Richard Schaefer steal all of his top fighters, and now none of them were locked in contracts with Golden Boy Promotions. Oscar couldn't adjust after that shit, man. He was lost. He was in the world. He like, I can find another Richard Schaefer. I found one. I can find another one. No, you the fuck you couldn't. Bob Arum knew who Richard Schaefer was. Called him the banker, man. He knew the reach and the devil intentions of Richard Schaefer. So Oscar was left with nothing, man, but try to file a lawsuit. Now, it's crazy because the rulings in this case, man, the way they fail, man, he couldn't prove nothing. As far as the Muhammad Ali Act is concerned, you know, Al Haymon never acted as a promoter. And that's something that I'm sure Golden Boy Promotions knew. And I know Bob Arum knew it. He never really acted as a promoter, man. Like, I don't know, man. The way he did it, like, he employs other promoters. And he tells the fighters that he manages, these are the promotional companies that you're going to deal with. The promotional companies then front up that money. That ain't the works of Al Haymon. You know what I'm saying? These are the works of those promotional companies in which Oscar tried to call, and Golden Boy tried to call these promoters sham promoters. The way that Al Haymon does business with the TV networks is a bit different than the way Bob Arum and De La Hoya has been doing business. They have been receiving licensing fees from these different, stations or whatnot. Like with HBO and Showtime, well, mainly with HBO. But Al Haymon, he came and put his foot forward, and he bought TV time. He bought slots. He went to all of these networks and he bought TV time. Yeah, he does it under the old model of receiving licenses fees too, but he took the initiative and bought a year's worth of TV slots on various networks. You can't, it's all legal. And that's something that's the way that they don't like to do business, and they don't want to set that precedent because they don't want to have to front up money to buy TV slots. And Al Haymon is doing this on free TV, so this benefits every fucking fan. Now, there was criticism about he wasn't putting on the best fights, but even the sporadic good ones in prime time that we did get, they were actually pretty damn good. Even the Earl Spence fights, they was good to see on free TV. Bob Arum bowed out because he was originally on board with Oscar with this lawsuit. But he got the fuck. Once they dropped Waddell and Reed, because initially when this lawsuit was filed, they also implicated the investment firm that Al Haymon employs to get his money from, which is Waddell and Reed, when they fronted them that $500 million. When they got dropped from the lawsuit, which a judge dropped them from the lawsuit, that bowed out Bob Arum right there. And now we see Bob Arum making fights with Al Haymon. We've seen the biggest fight ever fought in boxing done between Al Haymon and Bob Arum, and Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. And you can't prove that he violated the Muhammad Ali Act because he's not promoting these fights. He advises these fights / manages these fights. He locks them in crazy contracts, but it's all legal. That's his prerogative. He ain't promoting the fights. So he ain't violating a Muhammad Ali Act, man. Then Oscar tries to say, hey, what about the market? Like, he's limiting competition. He's limiting the market. No, he ain't. The judge showed several examples on how he's not. And actually, Golden Boy Promotions could or should be benefiting from the market in boxing, given they have Mexico's biggest star or biggest fighter. You know, they showed that, hey, you just made a boatload of money with Canelo Alvarez and Amir Khan. You have an upcoming fight in which Al Haymon's fighter, he's doing business with you despite the lawsuit. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is fighting Canelo Alvarez, and it's being billed as the biggest fight in Mexico. You just locked down a contract with ESPN for 2 years. So how is Al Haymon blocking any access to competition or market? Because these antitrust laws are not, these type of laws, these are not to protect the competitor. It's to protect the competition. And judging by the books and the amount of money that you've been making off these fights, Oscar, Al Haymon ain't done nothing. You've been getting it. That's your dumbass fault for billing this fight the biggest fight in Mexico. Now you're showing everybody that you're about to make a boatload of money off this fight. He ain't proved it, man. He ain't proved it at all. And that's how it is in this high stakes world. It's what you can prove. Let me just say this quote real quick from what they said. It says, and I quote, in the cases, this is pertaining to the Muhammad Ali Act, and where Oscar say these promoters are sham promoters. Well, and he has to prove that Al Haymon is promoting these fights. Well, the promoters of these fights say, hey, in the cases where the television networks pay a license fee, the promoters collect those fees as well. The so-called sham promoters are responsible for overseeing the creation of advertising for the event and purchasing targeted advertising in various forms of the media. In addition, the promoters for PBC events handles event logistics, including the travel accommodations, on-site coordinations with the fighters, their camps, the media, and all other stakeholders. That's what the promoters do for the fights, not Al Haymon. The promotional companies that he employ. Hard thing to prove. Hard thing to prove. They have, and I quote, they have testified that their duties are substantially the same as their duties for non-PBC events. Damn, Oscar, why didn't you know this shit going in to this damn lawsuit? This is like obvious stuff. This is like real obvious stuff. I don't know, man. Now, as far as the access to competition also, and I'm going to end it on this, they even implicated a couple networks. I think it was Fox and ABC or something like that. And they said, hey, we are not locked in with Al Haymon. We'll work with any other promotional companies. We have no problem with that. We'll work with Golden Boy if the situation was right. But I'm guessing, like I said before, is what you can prove, given their relationship with Al Haymon. I'm sure they're not going to be running towards Golden Boy Promotions. So I don't know, man. You know, Oscar now, man, basically has set himself up to be an outcast in the new world order of boxing. You see Richard Schaefer now establishing his promotional company. He is going to be working with Al Haymon and his 200 plus fighter stable, in which Al Haymon has all the big names for the most part. And Oscar's going to be left out. You see Bob Abrams reaching across the aisle trying to make fights. There's been talks of Broner and Pacquiao. We've seen Pacquiao and Mayweather. I'm pretty sure there's going to be future fights involving Top Rank and Al Haymon, because clearly the new model of boxing is going to free TV. That's the benefit for us fans. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm with it. My only criticism of Al Haymon has ever been, don't give me free TV and give me crappy ass fights. You can keep that shit. But giving the schedules that are being announced and giving the upcoming fights that we got, man, I ain't complaining at all. Fuck that. Fuck Oscar. You know what I mean? And, you know, you could take your biggest fight in Mexico and put it on pay-per-view. But we're going to be enjoying Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman damn near on free network TV. So who gives a fuck? To the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man, Made Man Boxing Forum. Google Plus, Main Man, Made Man. Look like Al Haymon came out on top on this one, man. Look like the Black Hitler came out on top, man. No bullshit, man. Al Haymon now, he has made it through this. This shit ain't gonna do nothing but make him much more stronger going forward. And I'm telling you, man, a takeover boxing is coming. And it's called Al Haymon. To the next video. Peace out.